So, thanks for joining us for another episode of Autonomous Birth. Today, I am joined by Briana. Me and Briana go to church together, and she has a lovely son. So, that was my introduction of Briana. But if you can introduce yourself, what, obviously, I reached out to you, but like, what made you agree to come on the show? Like, what do you connect with the mission, as well as one thing about yourself that does not revolve around motherhood?
Well, when you first told me the type of podcast that you had, I was very interested because I don't see a lot of podcasts that talk about like the struggles and the things that we go through as moms, from birthing to um, everyday life. So I was like, oh yeah, I was interested in that. You said one thing I could say about myself outside of motherhood. Um, Yikes. I would have to say probably just my journey with makeup. That's all.
Don't say that's all. Like it's
For
some small
now.
thing. All right. So to start, how did you feel when you found out that you were pregnant?
Ooh, child. I would have to say I was very scared and confused. Of course, I wasn't that confused. I mean, but I think I was. I think I was scared because me and my child's father weren't in like an actual relationship. We were just dating. And then at this time we had been on and off, but this time we were like actually off. So I didn't know how to call and tell him that this is the news I just found out. So I just instantly prayed and then I called my mom.
Mothers always have the answers. So, did your pregnancy go once you found out you were pregnant? Like, well, even if before, I also disclaimer, I be yapping.
Mhm.
I probably cut it out, but sometimes I'll be yapping. And if you need to ever reel me in, just be like, girl, get to the point. Um, did your pregnancy go how you envisioned it to go?
Actually, yes. Now, I wanted to be married, of course. I wanted to be in a great partnership, have my own home by the time I was ready to birth a child. But I will say, like, the physical part of my pregnancy went absolutely great. I had no issues with my pregnancy. I was the healthiest I've ever been while I was pregnant. And I didn't start having issues until, of course, it was almost time for me to give birth to Blake. Now, mentally, I went through it. I went through it mentally because I didn't have the extra support from my partner. It was days I felt lonely. It was days I felt like, should I be a mom? Like, am I really cut out to do this? Um, I don't know why, but like when like you're pregnant, like well I know why it's your hormones, but when you're pregnant, like you get so emotional, and I feel like things from my past was coming up, and I felt like I wasn't healed before, you know. So emotionally, I didn't do great with my pregnancy, but if I had to do pregnancy again, and if physically, yes, I would do that again.
And so, how did you navigate the emotional and the mental part of it?
So I started just facing things. I will say at this time I was going through like spiritual warfare. So as much as it was easy to say, oh yeah, I leaned on God, I didn't. Like I started reaching out to therapists and things like that to help me navigate these new feelings I feel and help me prepare for when the day I give birth. Um, I was going through some family issues. So I was just facing that. Like, for example, my mom, like, we went through our stuff. But being able to, like, heal that at the time that I was pregnant was actually great for me. I lost my father in 2016. So I kept seeing him in my dreams. And actually, the first time I felt Blake kick, I had just dreamed about my father. So it was just like moments like that were just helping me like bring some type of happiness and peace to the pregnancy. But my pregnancy was like very quiet because it was just me.
Okay. And so, with that, what did your pregnancy teach you about yourself and the people around you?
Um, I would say pregnancy taught me just how strong I am. how patient I am. And I learned a lot about the people around me, the people that, I envision um, that would be there one day when I would experience having a child were not there. Um, and, at this point now of growth and, strength, I can't fault them for anything, but it just makes you wake up and makes you realize to pay attention to the important and stronger relationships that you have and friendships that you have in your life. I will say that I built upon a lot of family relationships, and I got really close with like my mom and my brother, and other close friends that I call sisters now. But it was really gave me like a really clear vision of who will really be in your corner when you're like struggling um, to be a mom if you're not mentally there. Um, yeah, I would say that was it.
Okay. And so, were there any steps you took to prepare yourself for motherhood, whether that be the birth itself or just like you're growing the village or anything like that?
Um, any steps did I take? I would have to say, yeah, I did. I had at the time I was pregnant, I was really close with two young ladies, and they're already moms. They've been mom for years, so um, they like literally walked me through my pregnancy. So like any questions I asked, like I was going to appointments by myself, and Blake's godmom at the time would go to my appointments with me. So she was helping me a lot, just understand motherhood, and like they were speaking life into me. Um, so I didn't really feel like, oh yeah, you're going to be on this journey alone anymore. I would say probably when the 6 month mark hit, I knew like I was okay. Um, yeah.
Going into it, was there any steps that you took like to prepare to do this by yourself?
Honestly, no, because at the beginning of telling the father, I didn't think I would be alone. Because we said we was going to figure it out together and all this good stuff, right? But people minds change. That's why I always tell like my little cousins or younger friends and me like just have discernment when it comes to who you're dating, and who you surround yourself around, because like you just never know, like people switch up and it would be nothing you can do. So in order for me to prepare myself, I just had to know like, well, this was your choice to keep the child. So you just have to be strong and be patient and show yourself a lot of grace, and just walk this thing down, because um, a child didn't ask to be here, but they're still a blessing. And ultimately, I was grateful because I wanted to be a mom one day. Maybe this wasn't the situation I wanted to start being a mom in, and maybe it wasn't the right timing, but it's a blessing to be a mom.
Okay. So, um, your birthing scene.
Mhm.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, about your if you had a OBGYN, a midwife, a
Yeah.
doula, those type of things, and how you found them.
So I went to my OB, what is it? OB what?
OB is fine technically. You can
Okay.
forget OB.
My OB, I've had my OB. Her name is Penny Brown. I've had her since I was 15. But actually, she was like completely booked when she found out I was pregnant. So, Miss Canessa, I completely bonded with her as soon as she found out I was pregnant. I mean, this lady was emailing me, calling me, making sure I was good throughout my pregnancy. She also supported the fact that it was just me. Um, so it was her. She actually did my birth, and then I had a midwife who was great. I forgot her name, but she was great as well when Canessa wasn't there, and I had questions. Um, Leading up to the birth, everything was great. Everything really went great. Now, let me tell you about this. the What's the thing they put in your back?
The epidural.
Yes.
Mhm.
I will say this. That was a scary part for me. Because you gotta keep still and you uncomfortable. So my I didn't have any contractions. They called me a I forgot what they called me. They said my case was really rare for the contractions were big, they showed on the computer, but I felt nothing. The only thing I felt was lower back pain. So that's what was making me uncomfortable. So that's what led me at 7 centimeters to say I went epidural. So I almost missed it. So once they did that, I just got really numb and I just felt uncomfortable. I thought I was high. The doctor kept telling me, "You're not high. You're." So besides that, my birth went great, but it took like 10 minutes to come out.
Okay, we gotta rewind a second. Okay, I'm trying to think of my. So, if you couldn't feel the contractions, were you induced? Like, how did you know you were in labor? Okay,
So, so they did induce me. So they gave me that medicine,
pitocin.
pitocin, and then I think somebody popped it. I think the doctor popped me. Because I just was not dilating. They had stripped my membrane a couple weeks before. I started spotting a little bit. Um, the little plug came out at home, so I just knew like it was time for him to come out. Nothing. I was not dilating. So once they gave me the medicine, I was dilating, but I didn't feel anything. So when I think the last time they checked me, they was like, "Oh, his head's right here." I'm like, "Okay, well." And it's like they started. It was like the Transformers in the room. They started transforming the whole. Meanwhile, I'm just laying there like, "What's happening?"
Relaxing.
Right.
Okay, another follow up. So, like, do you not have cramps?
No.
Okay, that I guess that makes
Well,
sense.
now.
Like, well, I guess prior to being pregnant, like that just blows my mind that you didn't have any.
Okay, so I forgot I left this part out. I had gastric sleeve surgery 2021, I think. So they tell you within the 2 year mark of your gastric sleeve surgery, do not get pregnant because you're completely fertile. I got pregnant, and you have the chance to gain your weight back, which I did. Not all of it, but I did. So they tell you don't get pregnant. Also, you're technically at high risk when you have those type of surgeries because of the changes that happens inside that's close to your stomach, right? So I think that truly helped me have a great pregnancy because I was losing weight while pregnant. So I was healthy. Um, and then when you have those type of surgeries, like any type of medicine hits you. So when I tell people my story about the epidural, they like, well, when I got it, I still was in pain. I'm like, well, I already wasn't really in pain. It was just my back pain. So medicine for me compared to somebody else is a way lot stronger. So I felt like the epidural was like a sedative or something. Like I felt high. So um, yeah, no cramps, no the only reason why I honestly went to the hospital that because I was in labor for 24 hours. The only reason why I went to the hospital is because I started spotting. So my mother was concerned about the bleeding, and they were too. And because of me being having that surgery, I was high risk. They just kept me, and I think they noticed like you don't feel that like I'm like no I don't. So yeah
That is very cool. You're the first person
yeah.
I've ever heard say that. Um, now I'm lost my train of thought.
I honestly feel
Oh,
like if somebody asked me this, they asked you, did you feel like you were stripped of an actual pregnancy? And I'm like, I don't know because I don't have like a horror story. Like every time before I got pregnant, I always heard like the most craziest things. But I don't have a horror story. Like I honestly felt only thing I missed, I wanted to feel my water break.
and I feel like TV really messes that up because
Yeah.
I feel like not many people water broke. My water broke. The first one I had a C-section, so they broke it
Yeah.
similarly. With my second one, it did break, and it shocked the hell out of me. But like, I don't think many people's water break, and then it's like, because I realized I was like, oh, my water didn't break. But when it does break, it's scary. Not scary, but it's just like. Things
Yes.
ramp up a lot. I forgot what I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
Okay. What was the nursing team like at the hospital you gave birth at?
Great. I had birth. I gave birth at University of Maryland downtown. Mind you, my OB is with University of Maryland. They're across the street from the hospital. So I was acclimated with that hospital. So everything I was getting done was through the hospital. So they was like my homegirls. They would know I would be there every week or every 2 weeks. Some of them came and actually saw me when I gave birth just to check on me. But everything was great. Everything went smooth. Everybody made me knowledgeable about what this feeling was or what's going to happen next. Walk me through the process. They kept my mother and my stepfather abreast of what was going on as well.
Okay. And so, what was your favorite part of your pregnancy? I know we already kind of dabbled in the birth a little bit, but what was your favorite part of your pregnancy, and what was the biggest shock of your pregnancy?
I would say the kicks. Oh my god, I miss it so much. I miss it like that. It just felt, I don't know. I don't know. It's like a butterfly feeling. I miss that feeling of being pregnant. And I miss the perks. Like you hungry, you have some hungries. Just people just wanted to do so much for you because you're pregnant. I mean, it was a time. It was I was still working at the time, so I was when I would go into the office. It was this breakfast spot across the street from my office. Listen, you don't know how many free breakfast meals I didn't have because of this belly. So I do miss that.
Okay, somebody else said that I ain't getting no perks.
You
I
wasn't
wasn't doing it right.
right.
Right. What was the biggest shock?
Um, probably being probably being pregnant. Like I think when 9 months hit me and I was just like over it, I'm like, yo, I'm really ready to be a mom. Like life is about to change for me. And at this time I was talking to my therapist and I was like, I'm so scared of like my social life just because it was already diminishing. It was already diminishing, like because I was outside. I was living life. I was having fun. I was single. Like to now having a child, I just felt like my social life was diminishing, and my worst fear was like to lose myself.
We gonna get into that.
Mhm.
Okay, so you kind of a little bit told me your birth story. But you also mentioned it only took you like 10 pushes. So tell me a little bit about that. If you like, how did you push if you couldn't feel? I guess they told you to push. So yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, they came in, told me, oh, his head is coming out. I'm like, okay, cool. So they transferred the room. I had my best friend there, my mom there, and my stepfather got he ran out. So I just remember them, putting my legs up and stuff like that, and telling me to push. Now I don't feel nothing, so I'm like, I do feel this part because I'm straining. I must be straining, so I feel it. Um, and then like my mom and my best friend is talking to me at this time, like what's going on down there because they asked me that one scene. I was like, oh no. So I think at this point I'm just trying to breathe and make sure that I'm pushing, not suffocating the baby. But can I be completely honest? And I don't think too many mothers talk about this. When the process from pushing and them actually coming out, I did not want to hold my baby. I was tired. Like I didn't. I wanted my best friend, my mother, to get out, take him, like just go. just, I was over it. Like it just took so much energy out of me. And they was like, Miss Moore, like you have to eat after. I was just so exhausted. And of course, the medicine is wearing off this time. So like all the tension in my body is. I was over it. But then like when I saw him and he latched right on, I was like, oh my god.
Then you change your mind. What I just did. Oh, okay. Um, I don't think many people talk about that at all because they always like you're just gonna be like the first one. I had a C-section and they tried to give me the baby, and I was like, I can't hold this daggone baby. Give him to his father, please. Like It's just, and also I had been through a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, I ain't got it in me right now,
Right. It's like a
and it
slight
is tiring.
and like it's about like 5 minutes and you're like, bro, give me a moment. I know this is my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a great description. It's just like I just did a lot. Give me a second to recover. Like, okay, postpartum. So, what was the first month like for you?
It was I'm like restless. Um and then at this time I lived alone. So I lived in like a duplex, so my neighbors upstairs would come check on me and stuff like that. My mom did her big one. She would either get off work early or she would come just stay with me and stuff like that. Or she'll be on FaceTime with me. My friends would FaceTime me and stuff like that, ask me I'm okay. But I ripped giving birth to Blake, so I was in a lot of pain trying to like maneuver to the bathroom and stuff like that. So first month was it was slow. I was tiring. I was tired, but I had help. It's like I had media help. I did.
Um, did you have him during the pandemic or the? No.
No, he's not
Okay.
a panty baby.
I wasn't sure. I think no. Okay, yeah. Um, so what did breastfeeding look like for you? I know you said you breastfed. Did you have the support that you envisioned? Was it easy? What did it look like?
Breastfeeding in the beginning was a breeze, and then it stopped. And when I mean stop, I mean like the production of it all. I breastfed for 7 months. And the only reason I can say I really stopped is because I went back to work and he went to daycare and I just wasn't making enough. Um, but it was hard. Like it was hard on my body. It was hard on my mental health because breastfeeding like takes a lot out of you and your baby, my baby like the cluster feed. So if I couldn't produce it, he was on my boob. So that was hard. I mean, him football, like it was a lot throughout the night. Um, sometimes I felt like he was eating like every 5 minutes, and I know that wasn't it, but it just felt like that. Um, and then as I started like going out and doing stuff, like I try to go back to church and stuff like that. I'm like, well, you have to figure out a balance of actually pumping to have milk in a bottle so you're not having to leave service throughout the service or if you're in the mall or something, stopping and breastfeeding. But I actually was okay with that because I always thought it was beautiful to see women like in the malls, the airport, or wherever you were, breastfeeding their babies. Like you're taking care of your child. I think it's actually beautiful. Um, but it was those nights or weekends where I just felt like, I wanted a break and I would let's say I would go out for a night or something like that and oh my God, your breast gets so enlarged, they start hurting. And then I went through this phase where I missed my child. So brunch is cool, but now I want to go back home. So breastfeeding was really great. I really wish I could have did it longer. I did tell myself if I ever was to have another child one day, I want to go at least a year if I can. Um, and I didn't take advantage. I will say this: I didn't take advantage of the resources I had around me. Like I never went to a breastfeeding class, which was offered to me for free. Um, and honestly, the women around me never experienced breastfeeding. Like my mother said, I didn't latch long. So, and my brother as well. So she went straight to Similac. So I didn't have anybody experience around me to like really tell me about what was going on besides TikTok. Um, so I will say like I didn't take advantage of the resources that were offered to me and I should have did that because I feel like I even if he wasn't on the boob the whole year, I at least could have kept the production coming by pumping and stuff like that because I didn't know nothing about breastfeeding, honestly, and pumping until the day I gave birth.
You mentioned earlier in there that it was hard as it is, and it's mentally exhausting, physically exhausting. What kept you going?
Um, it was just that connection. Like I be saying now, I be telling my boyfriend, like, I miss breastfeeding. Like that connection you have with your child is so intimate and special. Um, so I guess what I just was just telling myself, like, you can do it, you can do it. And also like these formulas and stuff, they're so like harsh. They are, and even though I'm Similac baby and I'm great, it's just I wanted to be a you wanted to do something natural for my baby, especially when I knew that the milk was producing. So I think that's what kept me going.
Okay, and I know you mentioned that you had support. What did that support look like? Was it easy for you to call on your support, or was it like you didn't have to call? They just showed up and was like, "Girl, we going to support you."
My mom, listen, she just showed up. Like I didn't have to ask too much of her. Um, it was some that were in my corner that I thought would be there. Can't really name, but um, yeah, it was some that I really thought I envisioned one day that was going to be in my corner. But between my mom and some of my close friends, like my brother, which I was completely surprised about, and not because anything our relationship was tainted or anything. It's just because he's a male, and they really don't be understanding stuff. But I think it dawned on him like, oh, this is my little sister, and she needs me. So like he was calling, making sure I was good. Everybody made sure I was fed. Listen, I was still getting perks after I had like to come in over to take a walk with me, just get me out the house. Making sure I had everything and he had everything. Girl, them gifts from the baby shower was set for months after the shower. So that kind of motivated me to get up and clean as well. But I had really good support from my immediate family.
This is completely a tangent, but what you just said made me think of it. Did you like? Because you said the gifts were just sitting.
Mhm.
Were you good about giving yourself grace? Because it's like, girl, you just had a whole baby. They can sit. But also, I know some
Yes,
people would beat themselves up about that.
yes. Probably about like when he was like 4 months. I'm like, all right, Brianna, put the stuff away. And my best friend had bought me like organizers, so that motivated me to get up.
Okay. And so after after you give birth, you're not the same person. You're not gonna be the same person. What did oh, the new you look
Me,
like? If you even at the new you, because he's still two, I think.
ooh, child. I don't know. I think this is the part when you said earlier about did I prepare? This is the part I didn't prepare for. Because yes, like a big transition is about to happen. You're about to be someone's mom. You no longer are just caring for yourself. But I didn't think about everything that came with that. So mentally, I have been struggling. Okay, I can say that I'm in a better pace now, but last year and the year before that, I struggled and nobody told. I thought postpartum was postpartum. I thought it was literally after birth. Sit. Um, I didn't get my postpartum until a year later, and I was like, "What the?" So last year it was really hard for me, and I was so emotional leading up from birth all the way till now. I'm celebrating your 1 year birthday. It was very emotional. Postpartum, I felt like it was just me, even though it is just me, parent. But I felt like it was just me, and I felt like the whole world was on my back. Being a full time mom, full time student, full time employee, and trying to run a makeup business. Financially, I was struggling. Spiritually, I was struggling. Physically, I was struggling. I'm back to doing things I wasn't doing before, as far as eating, not really working out at all. Um, I didn't really have a social life. I wasn't going out. My parents or my siblings would try to give me like an outing here and there once a month, but I would go out and just start missing Blake. So it just was like, I don't know. I tried to meet new people and start doing stuff with them, but I just felt out of place. Um, and I'm slowly, I can't say that I'm at the new me yet. You know, I love being a mom and I love this new world of being a mom, but I'm still trying to figure out, who I am in this moment and like, what I like to do and, how to satisfy my wants and needs.
Okay. Yes, it is all very overwhelming. It's like so many hats. And yes, you work full time, and then I mean I'm saying all things that you know, but I'm just validating your feelings because you work full time and you run a whole business. Like,
Yes.
and you have to take care of a little human, and it's a lot sometimes. So I know you mentioned having a therapist when you were pregnant. Do you still see that therapist to keep yourself up, ma'am?
Yes. So I saw her a couple months into, like, I was like, for him, from the time he was like 1 month to 3 months, I was seeing her and then I stopped. And this was the moment where I was just like, everybody just leave me alone. I'm gonna just figure this thing out. Um, and it peaked to 6 months, and I'm like, shoot, it's time for me to go back to work. Um, I just felt a cloud of anxiety. Like, so I had tried this new lady, but we just wasn't connecting, and I just stopped. So actually, the therapist that I had when I first had him, I actually emailed her this year, and I'm back with her this year. And I'm glad I did that because she remembers and has the notes for everything that I was going through in the beginning of my pregnancy. So now we can break down, where I am now. So I'm glad I went back to therapy, but I do recommend women going to therapy while they're pregnant and after.
And like to your point of how sometimes it will creep up on you, like the postpartum didn't hit you till later. Like
Yeah,
not hit, you know what I mean, like those feelings, those
yeah.
overwhelming feelings. I can't speak English. So it's
Yeah.
important to like keep it up because you just never know when it's gonna hit you. And then when you in it, it's harder to even get in
Yeah,
contact with the therapist because it's like you in it and I ain't got time to be finding no therapist right now.
exactly.
um so with becoming a parent, you are responsible for this little person, and part of being responsible for somebody is sometimes creating boundaries.
Mhm.
Was it hard for you to do that and like enforce it with your family?
Um, no, because I feel like I already had boundaries set in place when it came to myself. So I don't feel like no one overstepped when it came to my child. If anything, because I was in the situation of being a single parent, I longed for my family to go overboard for me, honestly, because I needed that. Um, and they did it without, me asking. My mother and brother, showed up. My stepfather. I just want to speak on that really quick because I didn't have a bad relationship with my stepfather, but we weren't the close, and because essentially looking at it, that's my mom's husband. Um, and what I can say, like seeing him as a great, man to my mom, like he stepped up when I was pregnant. He stepped up even after, and now he's a great grandfather. So just having that support, he always speaks life into me. Um, Even when I was like depressed and down, while pregnant, he just was always there. So I was comfortable in knowing that, as I continue being a mom, that I have that strong foundation.
And so it sounds like at some point you spoke with them about how you were feeling, but was it easy for you to do so? Like, were you sitting in it alone for a while, or you were like, I need to call my mother immediately. I need something's not it's not right.
Yeah, but my mother also knows me. Like she know when I serve when I say certain things or if I'm quiet, like she knows like you acting weird. It's something going on, and I don't like that depression feeling because I've been there before experiencing pregnancy. So I've learned out of the three therapists I've had to just be vocal about whatever you're feeling because like somebody went through it before. And me living by myself with the child, I was like extra paranoid. So when I was like crying or I just felt stressed, like I gotta call somebody so you know that this is what's going on in here. And that's not for anybody to change their schedule and drop everything and come, but it just brought me some type of peace to know like somebody knows exactly like what's going on with me, and I have a newborn child with me.
And as listeners, as Brianna mentioned, she does have a makeup business. So how I don't like I feel like there's not a balance. How do you navigate a full-time job, running a business, and being a mom and making space for yourself?
I don't. It's like um it's hard. It's really hard. I just think like, you know what, girl, you working your butt off so your child can have a better and great future. Um, and I really enjoy being a mom. Like that's one of the best jobs I've had. I enjoy being a mom. My passion is the beauty industry. I don't like working. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't like working. I won't work for myself, but it pays the bills. But no, what I will say about the workforce is that you do meet a lot of people, and I've met a lot of moms over the years who have that were very supportive during my pregnancy and now. So it is great to meet other moms that, and I be trying not to like complain because these women have multiple children. So I be trying to show myself a lot of grace when it comes to that and know that I'm not the only one going through certain things. Um, I lost my train of thought.
I'm not gonna be able to help you find it. um,
What were we talking about?
forgot. What were we talking about? Oh, how you navigate being a
Oh,
full-time working mom, a full-time entrepreneurial mom, and
oh, right.
a mother
So,
in general.
I know I don't do makeup per se every day. It's not full time. So, um, I'm able to still navigate. Going to work, making sure he's good. Most of my clients are in the evenings or mainly on the weekends. So I will say when I was pregnant, like people were showing out with the appointments. I'm like, well, y'all been all year. Y'all wasn't paying me no mind. Now I'm pregnant. You want to get your makeup done. But it was great. And I was really pushing my body because standing up, bent over a little bit, doing somebody makeup. It's a little it's a strain on your body, but you know, I ran into so many energies doing makeup while I was pregnant. I just felt like Wonder Woman when I was traveling too. I was traveling pregnant with all my makeup to hotels and different venues for different ladies. So it just felt good. I felt like a super mom, honestly. I felt great about myself that I was still challenging myself to work and invest in my business while I was pregnant.
Sorry. So, what was the biggest shock about postpartum? Like, you did not see this coming at all.
Probably the timing. Like I really, and that's why we gotta stop listening to social media and TV and stuff Because these movies be making it seem like you have the baby, you get postpartum, and then you done. No, I didn't get my postpartum until almost a year later, and he was one. So imagine trying to navigate a 1 year old who's curious now. He knows he's here, um, and trying to figure out who you are still and navigate through financial barriers and work stuff. And in the midst of this, I had got a promotion at work. Like now, I'm a manager to 4 people. Like, what are you doing? Like life was just so busy. It was so busy. So I think that was the most shocking part. Like, yo, you really wear all these hats. And yeah.
It's definitely like life goes into hyperdrive.
Hmm.
It's like I can't sit down for a second. I mean, you can if somebody even when somebody takes the kids to your point, it's like I'm thinking, are they okay?
Yes.
Um, and then I'm looking at pictures instead of watching TV or reading,
Okay.
like not doing what I'm
Okay.
supposed to do. Um,
Okay.
okay. So, I know you mentioned your boyfriend earlier. What has it been like dating as a mother and navigating the dating scene?
I will say dating as a mom is really difficult, especially if you're on your first child. Because I will say when I first started putting myself out there, I'm like, I'm not ready for these questions. So why you not with your baby? Why y'all ain't work out? How you dating? You got a child? Like I just wasn't ready for all those questions. So I kind of paced myself. Of course, men that you used to deal with, they gonna spin a vlog about it. But I changed my mindset a lot when it came to dating because I'm like now I have to date with intention, which I was kind of before, but not as serious as I was because now I have a little boy I'm raising, and I don't want him just around anything. I don't want him to see me around anything. So that's always in the forefront of my mind when I'm dating someone. Um, the guy I'm dating now, um, he's great, but he has kids already. So yes, with the S, Jesus. He has children already. So honestly, dating him has been like a learning experience because I'm so hard on myself when it comes to being a mom, and he be like talking me down on ledges, because he's a father, and he's seen it. He's seen it all. He's seen it all. So he's able to like give me advice on certain things. And his kids are older than my child, so he's able to say, this happened with my child at this age. Let's try this. So he's always trying to like work through it with me and give me the best advice. So it's great to have a partner like you can actually learn from, was teaching you something. Um, the navigating the part of him building a relationship with my child was hard because I have abandonment issues and I don't want my child to have that. So I always make it clear in the beginning, like if you're seriously, genuinely want to date me and we're going somewhere, it can't be you're here and then you're gone, because now you're in my child's life. He's going to build a relation with you. He's young, so he clings to people. Like, just make sure you seriously want to be here. And I feel like ladies should take that seriously when dating.
Um, you said something twice. Just now, it was that he helps you. Like he'll tell you, "Oh, I did this. This happened with my kid," and I feel like that's so important. Not only in like just in any relationship, and the sense of building community as a person, as a mother. I don't know what
Yeah.
I say. A person. This is about mothers. As a mother, just knowing that you're not alone. Like it's probably happened a million times to somebody else, and like not beating yourself up and giving yourself grace. And also, they always say like the mothers who feel like they're what's the how you say it, who are beating themselves up are usually the ones doing the best job because you actually care about whether or not you're doing a good job. Um, but yeah, that's a great point of like community is important because you're not alone, and when you feel like you're alone, it sucks. But if you have someone to give you advice, it
Yes.
helps a lot. So, what is one piece of advice that you would give to single mothers?
Um, I would say to be completely patient with yourself and show yourself the ultimate grace. Because um, change and transition is hard, and you're not gonna have it all figured out. Um, it's truly no rule book to being a mom. Um, it sound good, it looks good on social media and TV that people just be having it all figured out, but going from a certain lifestyle into a different one and becoming a mom is completely a life changing thing. And you just have to show yourself grace in those time periods, create a community for yourself to lean on when you don't feel your best self. Try to do things that make you feel like you. Um, don't get completely consumed in helping people or, just your child's life. I know you had a life before your child, and even though it might like look similar to what you were doing, just try to navigate back into the things that, made you feel, you're the best you.
I have one question that I forgot to ask.
So,
um, how do you at this point? How old is your son? 2?
too.
Okay. 2 years in, how do you prioritize getting time to yourself when the load falls all on you?
Um, I would just say I just ask. Like I just ask. It's you truly don't have time. Like you don't. But I just ask. I reach out to my community. Like, hey, I need a break. Can you watch him for a couple hours? I've gotten so back into God. So I've built the community within my church. So, I joined the women's ministry. I'm back singing on the choir. So those outings, whether it's a women's ministry meeting,
I'm rubbing
or
off on you.
or if it's choir rehearsal, or anything like that. If it's a brunch or something. I don't know. Just like anything that I feel like, I'm comfortable with going to. I try to make time for myself in those ways. Getting my hair done, going to get my nails and feet done, um, going to buy some makeup. Listen, that's my therapy. That's just stuff like that. Like that helps me truly.
Okay. I got one more tangent question because I know
Okay.
we got to wrap this up. Because, like I mentioned, we go to church together and we both have young children. And my kids, when they're not in Sunday school, are doing the most. And it's very distracting for me because I'm like, I came here to hear the sermon, not to
Yeah.
wrangle y'all in. How do you feel about like having to do church if he doesn't want to go to Sunday school?
Listen, I will say when I first started at the church, Blake had no control. Like, well, he had control. He had control over me because he wasn't listening. But it was so hard. But I will say my parents being there, like my brother and stuff, there to like help check him and help me with him helped. But you don't know how many times like I felt like embarrassed or like, dang, my child being the loudest one in the church. But like pastor has spoke life into it. People in the church, like I guess maybe they've seen my faces and stuff like that. They'll come up to me like, you're okay. Like he's doing what a child does. Like you're fine. Some of the ushers have said, kind words to me. Our first lady has said kind words to me. So it's hard. Like not even just church, like even other public places. I be feeling like I don't got control of my child, but trust me, y'all, I do. It's just he just done the most. But it's hard. But you know what? I just always remember like, okay, he's one, he's two. Like it's not. He don't know what pastor is saying. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to stay focused. And I do have other people to say, hey, like, can you kind of, because it's been times where I really needed to hear the sermon, and I was going through something mentally, but I couldn't be there because he needed my full attention.
I keep saying like you can hear me, but I agree. Feel free to send them over to play if Sunday school is not happening. Okay. So where can the listeners find you? any plugs you would like to make regarding your business or anything like that.
Okay, so you guys can find me on Instagram at B Marie the Artist. I have been in artistry for the last 8 years. So I specialize in soft glams, high glams, and also special events and weddings. If you would like to book me, my booking link is in the bio of my Instagram.
And it will be included in the description of the YouTube and the Spotify, or the podcast.
Okay,
Okay, listeners, thanks for joining in and listening to Brianna's story. Brianna, thank you for joining me.
of course.
Um, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. It's me. I do this every time, and then I correct myself every time. I'm the only person behind Autonomous Birth. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And thank you for listening. Have a lovely day.
Okay.